Christine Kiesinger has been a student and practitioner of autoethnography and narrative inquiry since the early 90s. Although she no longer teaches in academia, she has come to understand that over time, autoethnography and narrative become ways of being in the world. As such, both continue to matter to this great person deeply. She arrived at the University of South Florida as a first-year doctoral student to study rhetoric, but as can happen at that time, quickly shifted her focus after meeting Art and Carolyn and realized that what was missing from her work was the expression of what brought her to her work in the first place, her own lived experience. Christine flirted with meditation as an undergraduate, but became a daily practitioner in 1992 when she began her dissertation research and writing. She began to see that meditative states granted her access into her inner landscape in ways that were vital to her autoethnographic and narrative work. She's maintained a daily meditation practice now for 32 years and wishes to share a few practices with us today. This session, as she stresses, is for us. So she wants us to get comfortable. And let me just say that when Carolyn and I were planning these special sessions, we thought, oh, we need something unique. We need some type of doing, right? Christine came first to mind. So thank you for doing this, dear friend. And the virtual space is yours.
Thank you for asking. You know, for those of us who do the work of autoethnography and narrative inquiry, it is no surprise. It is no surprise that a natural outcome of this kind of work is a very deep and intimate relationship with yourself. You can't do this work unless you're willing to operate at that intrapersonal level. And for those of us who have been doing this for a long time, the doing of it and the teaching of it, we might forget the kind of courage and the bravery that it takes to what I call traverse your own inner landscape. And so when I look back at my history of meditation, I see that my meditation practice deepened significantly when I was writing my dissertation, because that required that I develop this deep intimacy with myself. And meditation was like a very safe vehicle through which I could tool around my inner landscape and go to the places that I needed to go within myself to do autoethnographic work and to connect more deeply to those who were part of my dissertation work. A natural outcome of getting really intimate with yourself, I believe, is that it helps you to connect more deeply to others. I really intend for today to be a journey into your own inner landscape in a very focused and intentional way. And in order to have this journey, I want to make a couple of suggestions. One, I want you to make sure that you are free of as many distractions as possible. If you need to get up and close the door, please do that. If there's anyone in your home with you, if they don't want to join you, ask them that you want to keep things really quiet. Silence your cell phone. Make sure that you're muted. Second, I want you to be very comfortable. If you want to turn your camera off, I take no offense in a session like this. My goal is for you to go inside. You can turn your camera off. You can experience this in a seated position. If you want to lie down, please do. This is meant for your reflection. It's meant for your rejuvenation. It's meant for you to have the experience of a reset. So do whatever you need to do to get comfortable. If you want to grab a blanket, one of the things that tends to happen when we're deeply relaxed in meditation is body temperature drops, blood pressure drops, and we don't want to be distracted by feeling cold. So I want to give you a few moments to grab whatever it is that you think you might need in order to really benefit from this experience together. I want to offer 3 practices. The first practice allows us to come into what I call a very natural anchoring into something that's with us all the time. and that is our own bodies. So we'll do a body anchoring. When that's over, I'm going to just give like a 1-minute break, and we'll move into the next practice, which is sort of the heart of what I want to share here today. That practice is really an opportunity for you to explore your own capacity to be really compassionate with yourself through compassion for others. And then the final practice is a quicker one. The final practice is really helpful for those of you who in your work find yourself dealing with the inner terrains and landscapes of other people. How can we use this very quick meditative tool to bring us into a state of deep presence so that our listening is better, our being with another person is better, our empathy is enhanced, our capacity for benevolence and mercy and connection is enhanced. Between each of these practices, there will be about 1 minute. I want to invite you, should you wish, to have a pen and a pad nearby. If there's anything that you want to write down following the practice, any observation, any insight, anything that arises, anything that you think you want to remember, go ahead and do that. But that's not at all a mandatory part of the practice. I just want to give you just a little bit of time to do that. Again, this session is for you. It's for you to go inside. Therefore, it will be silent. I will let you know when it's over. I will invite you before you depart and before I sign off to put some things into the chat should you wish. Don't feel compelled to do that. There'll be opportunities in the social rooms. I'll try to get to a social room today. Should you have any questions, but try to stay quiet following this practice. Finally, if there's anything that you need, if you have questions, if you want more information, if you want some opportunities to have recordings that I have available, my email is in the chat. Feel free to reach out to me through email and I will get you what you need. Okay, so let's begin. Again, take whatever time you need to get comfortable. Your comfort is essential here. And we're going to begin by anchoring in this body. If it's comfortable for you, close your eyes. If that feels unsafe, not comfortable, soften your gaze. Just find something to gaze at in front of you, but keep your eyes soft. And we're going to begin with the breath. But we're going to begin with the breath in a really beautiful way. I want to invite you to feel the breath in your belly. This is called soft belly breath. It's also called compassionate breath. All you're doing is just noticing the rise and the fall of your belly as you breathe. There's nothing forced about it. There's nothing fancy about it. It's just this gentle connection to your own belly. And maybe even noticing how you can soften the musculature in your own belly as you breathe. There's no effort here. Neuroscience tells us that soft belly breath is like a lullaby for your entire nervous system. When you're stressed or overwhelmed, if you just drop down into the belly and observe, it rises when I inhale. Oh, it falls when I exhale. And just let there be a gentleness and a kindness to the rhythm of your own breath. This breath that's been with you from the first moment you arrived, this breath that will be with you until the moment you depart. It's your constant. It's your companion. We can rely on the breath. It can be an anchor. Imagine perhaps just for a moment all of the ways that life can feel really chaotic, storm-like, all around us. And yet I have this place, I have my own breath where I can anchor. It doesn't change what's happening, but I can find some stability there. If distractions arise during this session, just bring your awareness back to this breath, this soft belly breath. This anchor that is always with you. Keeping the breath easy. Gently draw your awareness to your hands, wherever they are. And for the next few moments, just really feel into the sensation of your own hands. Maybe noticing their weight, the length, maybe the shape. Maybe noticing the sensation of anything that might be on your fingers or wrist. Knowing too, these hands are always with you. They too can be anchors. Maybe remembering all of the ways in which these hands have served, typed, written. All of the ways these hands have touched, loved, held, reached. Noticing the preciousness of your own hands. And can your hands be an anchor too? Perhaps during stress and chaos and overwhelm, I can just drop into the sensation of my own hands wherever they are and center. And again, using the tool of your own awareness, gently drop down into your feet, no matter where they are. Let your feet now be your only focus. Maybe noticing the weight of your own feet, the size, or the shape. The sensation of anything that's on your feet, any fabric. Perhaps the sensation of shoes you might be wearing. The feet that in life remain closest to the ground. And just for a moment, reflecting upon all of the places these feet have taken you all of your life. The way they've pressed into different surfaces, moist grass, warm sand, tepid waters, snow. And all of the places that these feet will take you. Knowing that when there is stress and overwhelm and chaos and life feels stormy, the feet too can be an anchor. And just noticing, imagining, how might it feel if I were to anchor into these feet? How might that matter? When I need that sense of being grounded. And using that inner awareness now, travel up into what for you feels like the space of your own heart. Perhaps it's center chest, perhaps it's center chest a little bit to the left. But first, connecting to, touching into the felt sensation of your physical heart and the mystery and the awe of this part of you. That's been beating all of your existence. And touching into the emotional heart. All of the ways in which this heart has loved, lost, the way that it's been broken, the way that it's been broken wide open. And when there is stress and overwhelm and chaos and life feels like it's storming all around us, can I just bring my awareness to this beating heart as a way of settling myself? And sometimes taking just one of your hands and placing it over the heart. Can bring about this deep sense of settling, anchoring. When life feels like turbulent waters, We can anchor through the breath, that soft belly breath. We can anchor through the hands, the feet, the heart. Guide your awareness back to that soft belly breath, that effortless, graceful breath. And just asking, of all the anchors I visited in this short time in my body, which felt best for me? Which might I call upon the next time there is chaos and overwhelm? Remembering that the body is always with you, as is the breath. It is your best resource when you need that sense of being anchored. Should you wish to take about 1 minute to do any kind of writing or reflecting, please do. If you're opening your eyes, do so very gently. Keep your gaze soft. Try not to disrupt the way you're sitting or lying down too much. And we'll just take that 1 minute before we move into our next practice. Please come back into whatever position feels best for you as we come into our second practice, which is really the heart, literally, of today's session. Some of you might be familiar with the term metta, M-E-T-T-A. In Sanskrit, the word metta translated means loving kindness. So it's a quality of kindness directed towards self first, directed out towards others next, and then the world. But what's powerful about a metta practice, it always begins with you. So in this practice, we'll be calling forth images of a variety of different people. And we'll be imagining that we are addressing them, wishing them well, wishing them good things, wishing them compassion through a series of statements. So to begin, once again, come back inside if you're not already there. And let's just continue that compassionate breath. We're not concerned about the breath in any other way, except that we just feel it in that lower belly and it's really soft. And for the first part of the practice, I want you to hear my voice and I want you to imagine that you are addressing you. You are bestowing upon yourself these good things. And perhaps just notice how it feels to wish yourself well, because this gives us a sense of the quality and the flavor of our own relationship to self. May I be safe. Here you are wishing yourself physical and emotional safety. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be well. May I grant myself opportunities to know peace, to know the experience of ease, to know the experience of grace. And may I continue to wake up to my own brilliance, to my own gifts, to my own purpose in this very short life. And just let those wishes land, even if it feels uncomfortable for you to wish these things upon yourself. And now I want you to bring to mind someone in your life that you just adore. Someone who is so easy to love. It might be your beloved, it might be your pet, it might be someone here, it might be someone already departed, but someone for whom it's easy to wish these things. See them clearly in your mind, see yourself standing before them, saying these things. May you be safe, always. May you be happy. May you be well. You, my beloved, oh, may you know many experiences of peace and ease. And may you know the gift of grace. And may you wake up. May you wake up to your brilliance, to your beauty, to your passion, to your purpose, to the why you're here. And really let yourself feel how you feel when you're bestowing all of this upon someone that you are just crazy about. Things are happening, friends, biochemically, neurologically, hormonally, when we muster, generate this level of goodness towards others. This metta practice is no joke. It's very powerful. Stay. Now I want you to bring to mind an image of someone who you might call an acquaintance. Someone for whom you just have feelings of neutrality. Imagine them too fully in your mind's eye. Imagine you're standing and facing them, sitting with them, but being totally present with them as you wish them these things. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be well. May you know the experience of peace, ease. May you recognize those moments of grace. And may you awaken to your brilliance, to your gift, to your purpose. May you awaken to the why you're here in this very short life. Check in with your own system. Again, noticing how it feels to bestow all this goodness in the direction of another person. Neurochemically, hormonally, neurologically, we are beginning to marinate in compassion. Very gently, with a great deal of ease, I want you to bring to mind someone with whom you have difficulty, or perhaps had difficulty. Someone that may be hard to love, hard to forgive. Don't stretch for this, just notice who arises first. Imagine them in your mind's eye. You may be resistant. Notice what's happening in your own system. Look at them. May you be safe. May you, even you, be happy. May you be well. May you know the experience of peace, ease, and may you recognize moments of grace. And although we have difficulties and challenges, may you wake up to your own brilliance, goodness, value, meaning, purpose, your reason for being here. May you too awaken. There is no judgment here. Just take a moment to notice what's happening inside of your own system as you wish these things, metta, loving kindness, as you bestow these wishes upon someone with whom you have difficulty, maybe someone who's hurt you, someone who's really challenging to connect with. Anchor yourself in your breath. Stay here in the practice. And I'd like for you now to bring into your awareness this sense of all of us who are here, all of us who are part of this conference, whether they're here in the room with us or not. And even expand that out further to all people, to all living beings. May all of you, may all living beings be safe or know the experience of safety. May all of you, all of us, be happy. May all of us be well. May all beings get to have the experience of what peace feels like, what ease is like. May all of us stay aware enough that we recognize moments of grace, however brief and fleeting they can be. May all beings awaken to the truth, to the light, to the brilliance of who they are. Checking in with your own system. You may or may not feel that there's a spaciousness and expansiveness that occurs even in our physical bodies when we extend metta, loving kindness, out beyond our smaller worlds. You might notice that there was a little bit of a constriction, a restriction, a contraction when we were sending metta to someone with whom we have difficulty, and that may have opened up as we expand the wishes outward. And now we come full circle. We come back to the self. And I just want you to notice if it's any different qualitatively as we bestow metta back onto the self, just as we did at the beginning. Remember, you're hearing my voice, and it's as if you are addressing yourself. May I be safe. Physically, emotionally. May I be happy. May I grant myself the permission to be, to feel happiness. May I be well. May I know peace. When an experience of peace descends upon me, may I recognize it. May I know ease, because ease is always a sign that I am in flow. And may I know the hundreds of moments of grace that are showering down upon me every day, but I might be missing them. And may I stay awake and connected to the very important work that I do in the world. The way that it matters. That this autoethnographic narrative inquiry pathway is not for the faint of heart. So may I stay awake to the magnitude of what I offer in this world. Metta, loving kindness, is a quality of kindness. It's the generation inside of your system, even at the hormonal biochemical level, of qualities like benevolence, mercy, kindness, compassion, and most important, self-compassion. We now have neuroscience that supports stronger immunity, stronger heart health, lowered cortisol, less anxiety, less depression. When there's more compassion present. Should you feel compelled, please take the next minute to jot down any notes, thoughts, reflections, or stay just where you are as we prepare for our final practice, the practice of presence. Continue engaging in that soft belly breath, just keeping your awareness on the sound of my voice. Knowing that in any moment, you can come into this, what I call a micro practice, which is just 3 tiny shifts in the body that creates a cascade of biochemical hormonal shifts that grant you 3 qualities: the qualities of calm, the qualities of strength, and the quality of openness. Wherever you are, whether you're seated or lying down, bring your awareness to your spine. And if you are seated, just straighten up a little bit in your spine. And if you are laying down, just try to touch base, try to take notice of the length of your spine. And know that whether we're standing, seated, or laying down, when we get taller in the spine, when we straighten the spine, it's like going into the brain and turning down the volume of our stress response, turning down cortisol production, simply by being a little straighter, taller, more dignified in the spine. And this knowing that the spine holds up your entire body, your entire system. It's there to support you. Develop an awareness of your feet. We did this earlier. Feet firmly grounded, rooted on the floor, will always bring up those hormones, those chemicals in the system that have us feel a sense of strength. No matter what's happening, I can stand on my own 2 feet. Wherever you are, drop the shoulders down a little bit lower and maybe bring them back. When we drop the shoulders and we bring them back, we open up the front part of the chest, the front part of the heart and the body, and we begin to produce the hormone oxytocin. This is the hormone affectionately known as the cuddle hormone. It is a hormone that is present when we are feeling loved and supported and connected. It takes us out of being defensive or defended. You want to walk into a room fully present, straighten up through your spine, ground through your feet, drop the shoulders down and bring them back. You need to have a hard conversation. Straighten up in your spine, feel your feet on the floor, drop the shoulders down and back. And you can have that hard conversation and still stay connected. You want to create a space for others to enter into their own interior landscapes in ways that keeps them safe. Be with them, sit next to them, in front of them, with your shoulders down and back, your spine straight, your feet flat on the floor, and you will hold compassionate, loving space for them to do the work they need to do, to be safely wandering around their own inner terrain. This simple practice helps you to stay connected to yourself and connected to others, even when life feels like a tsunami. Just 3 things: tall, dignified spine, feet against a floor, shoulders down and back. It's a winning trio. The trio of calm, strength, and openness. And this is about you. Can you stay calm as you continue this work of autoethnography, narrative inquiry? Can you stay brave and courageous as you traverse your own inner terrain ever more deeply? And can you stay open to yourself? I say you can. For the next few moments or so, just please come back to that soft belly breath. You can open your eyes, but keep your gaze very soft. Whatever you do next, do it slowly, as if you're moving in slow motion. Should you feel compelled or wish to type some things into the chat about what this experience was like for you, please do, but no pressure necessary. This is for you. This is a nice way to transition into the rest of your conference day. Calm, strong, and open. Thank you.